If you're a solo content creator, you're probably overlooking this incredibly useful tool for your work. A field monitor. It may seem silly. Why do you need that if your camera has a screen? Let's answer that question by checking out this $150 Eyoyo A5 monitor right after this.
Useful tech education and gaming nostalgia that won't put you to sleep. Get subscribed and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next guide.
A field monitor is a little, usually 5 to 7 inch monitor that takes the signal from your camera and lets you view it externally. Ones like this A5 model also give you some useful readouts that help with nailing your camera settings, audio levels, histogram to check exposure, focus peaking or little indicator lines to determine what's in focus in your shot, false color to help with skin tones, and various framing tools such as safe zones, specific framing for non-16:9 frames, although it doesn't have a 9:16 vertical frame mode. Would be cool if they could add it, since that's becoming, the popular thing in 2018 with Instagram TV. A field monitor gives you more information to compose better shots, but it's also just immensely helpful for nailing focus, especially for solo creators who are in front of the camera. You can put this little monitor that's the size and weight of a smartphone on a camera cage, a gimbal, on top of your camera, with a shoe mount, or on a stand and keep it close to you to make sure that you're in focus. Nothing's worse than having a great take on camera, putting your SD card into your PC, and seeing that you're not really in focus. I've done that a lot. It seems silly. Oh, I can just check that on the camera, but it helps a lot, especially if you're using further focal length lenses where you can't just reach out and adjust it from where you're standing. Even if you're running and gunning or you're behind the camera, a field monitor can help you see your composition or focus better for your B-roll or shots of other people. While 5 inches doesn't seem like a huge increase over the 3 inches on your camera, there have been plenty of moments where I've been using really wide aperture and a shallow depth of field and focus is just ever so slightly off despite looking fine on the in-body screen. Or something's in the frame that shouldn't be towards the edges, or it's crooked or something like that. Using a monitor even just a couple inches bigger than what's on your camera helps you get a better grasp of what your final scene will look like when you view it on your computer's full screen. This Eyoyo A5, just love the name, is available for only $150 on Amazon, which is fairly competitive for monitors. As mentioned before, it's about the size and weight of a smartphone, even with the battery attached. I think it's a little lighter. Supposedly it's light enough to work on gimbals, but I don't really have one to test that for myself. It's got a 5-inch LCD display with a Velcro frame around it for attaching the included light hood, in case you're working outside in the sun. It has an IPS display, meaning you get great viewing angles from it. It's pretty solid. Now, you'll notice from the product page that it says it's only 1080p, but that's the actual display resolution. It still accepts up to a 4K signal from your camera, which means you can still shoot in 4K and use this monitor. That's fine. There's 3 1/4-20 taps on the top, bottom, and right side to provide flexible mounting options. And on the top, there's also 5 menu buttons for powering on the camera, navigating the menus, setting certain settings. Pretty standard stuff. And you will want to use that to turn off the obnoxious built-in speaker that plays by default so your sound loops through back to you. It's also worth noting that if you adjust settings like brightness and contrast, that's actually adjusting how it displays the signal being fed into it, not necessarily the overlays and menus for the most part, but that should be fine. Also, you only need to tap the power button to turn it on and off, not hold it, as I frequently hold it wondering why it's not turning off. Around left, you have HDMI pass-through, in and out, in case you want to daisy chain another monitor or recorder, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a DC 12-volt power input. You can power this via the normal DC 12-volt plug that came with it, a Sony NP-F style battery, which is my favorite and what I use, or the Canon LPE6 batteries, such as what came with my Canon 6D Mark II. You will notice that there is a micro USB port in the battery sled. I got very excited thinking this could be powered from USB, but no, it's just for firmware updates, sadly. Although it is drawing a lot of power or something, because when I hooked it up to my USB hub on my computer, the hub freaked out and disconnected a bunch of devices until I unplugged it. Ugh. It does not come with any batteries of its own, however it does come with the DC power adapter and an HDMI cable. On the far left side of the front of the screen is a tiny little LED that shows green when it's powered on and red when it's powered off, as long as it's plugged in or there's a battery on it. I found the focus peaking at the default sensitivity to be a little too strict for my vintage lenses and low light situations, but that's the good thing about this monitor, is unlike the focus peaking built into my camera, I can actually adjust the sensitivity of this. So you get a book or something that you know you can get tack sharp focus on, and then go to the menus and change the peak level until it shows up in a more desirable way. You can also change the color of the peaking lines as well, which is very handy because the default color wasn't working for me. The monitor touts wide color gamut and able to show more than Rec 709, and that it's vague and sounds a little silly, but it's also something I can't really test with my current gear. The colors seem fairly accurate and similar to my on-camera screen, and it has a slightly different color temperature to the screen itself compared to my Atomos Ninja Inferno by default, but you can also change that in the menus as well. It's also worth noting that your individual camera's HDMI capabilities are going to affect your ability to use this. Entry-level DSLRs like the Canon T3i and that line frequently don't provide clean HDMI video without custom firmware, meaning the overlays that you see on camera will show on the monitor. Some Sony cameras can only output video to one display at a time, be that this monitor via HDMI, the live view screen, or the electronic viewfinder. So if you connect to this, then it turns off the screen in the viewfinder, or whatever. And Panasonic G7s, like what I shoot with, cut off the HDMI output if you're recording in the camera. So I use this to set up my initial framing and keep an eye on things in between shots, but then it just kind of turns off and I have to glance at the camera monitor or at the camera screen when I'm doing my actual shots. Most high-end cameras, especially ones not specifically nerfed in this way, will work fine with this. For $150, you're not getting a touchscreen nor native 4K resolution, and it's not a video recorder like my Atomos Ninja Inferno is for 10 times the price. But this little screen has been incredibly handy around the studio, and I think all solo shooters should have one of these in their kit. As always, Amazon affiliate product links will be in the description below if you wish to check this out for yourself. Subscribe for more awesome tech and educational content, and come check out our Patreon where you can support more free tech education in the description below. I'm EposVox, and happy shooting.